Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I have this October's planned with me. Now this is my very first and ever bullet journal. I never really was the person to write in agendas and pretty much have the physical agenda that you would use. I always had like digital ones that I would keep track of, but I was always very organized, especially when I was still in school. And I don't know, I kept looking online and I saw so many people trying these out, and I'm an artist. I love drawing. I just thought, you know what, let me try it. And I have to say, after doing this October's bullet journal, I really do have a new appreciation for this, and I think I will be continuing with this as a new series on my channel. All of the items that I have used within this video are going to be listed down below, and without further ado, let's get on to the video. When I think of fall, what mainly comes to mind are apple orchards and pumpkin patches, and just being able to kind of enjoy being outside with the changing weather and everything that's going on. So for my cover page, I have a wreath with a bunch of flowers and leaves that are poking through. This is actually the first time that I have gotten down to drawing a wreath, and I think it turned out really well. I also added some bunnies that are kind of running around in a circle, and I have an obsession with bunnies, but also during, fall time, you tend to see them everywhere. So I thought that they were a great addition to the wreath. And then I just did a simple script of October in the center. On the right side, I have a apple tree, as I said, kind of embodying that apple orchard feel, and some pumpkins towards the bottom. After everything is outlined, I go back through and do a little bit of line weight, just with a thicker tipped Micron pen. For my mood tracker for this month, I played around with a lot of different ideas, some of them involving the phases of the moon or even cups of coffee. I love my coffee. But in the end, I decided on a berry branch, and I do think the berries that I ended up drawing were a little too large, but I think that it did get the point across, and it will be fun to color these in every single day. And I just stuck with a simple key at the very bottom. For my habit tracker for this month, I think I will be keeping this pretty much the same throughout. For the next couple of months. I really liked this simple design. The way it is split up, it goes up to 32 different spaces, and the great thing, so for months that have 31, including October, I can just do a little shader in the corner, that way I know which one it is. And for my habits for this month, I decided on 6 habits. For my larger calendar spread, I decided on still sticking kind of with a simpler design. I kind of like my cover page to have a little bit more So for the top register, I just did a bunch of different fall leaves. I continued with the calendar design. On the right side, I have a little space that I can put any notes or ideas for YouTube videos and such. And at the very bottom, I decided on kind of continuing with that tree look that was on the cover page that had the apples on it, and doing just some simple branches at the very bottom. Here I actually have a worn out Micron marker pen, and you know, there's still a little bit to it, so I didn't want to just throw it out, and decided that it would actually work pretty well as giving my calendar a little bit more dimension, and I kind of just added a backdrop shadow to it. For my weekly spread, I also kept with a simple design. I didn't want too much around because these are just going to be used once a week. Here I am actually using a Prismacolor marker. I noticed that a lot of my Microns are actually kind of worn out. I had a very big project that I was working on, and most of mine are quite used up. So I was trying to find something else to fill in my spaces a little bit faster, and I picked up the Prismacolor marker and instantly regretted. You notice with the weekly, when I filled that in, it actually bled through to the other side, which is, I should have known better. So throughout the rest of the journal, I did fill in just with one of my Microns and just did the best that I could. For coloring in my bullet journal for this month, I ended up purchasing off of Amazon this water-based markers that they swore were not going to bleed through or anything with this book. They're done by SEPA, and I would say overall they did pretty well. There was a couple times that these markers really did bleed through the paper, and mostly it's on my calendar side. The leaves that I was doing at the very top, they bled through pretty bad, but I was also shading a lot. So these aren't necessarily bad. The one drawback I do have on them, so the flowers that I have on my wreath, I didn't actually want them to be that dark. The colors that they show on the caps are very, very different than the color that's on the inside. So the colors for the purple looked very light and pastel, and I thought after using the green that they would be okay, but they came out a lot darker than what I was expecting. They're alright, and I have them linked down below if you want to check them out, but they were able to get the job done, and I was actually surprised. I was able to get so much shading done within my pieces, along with the pumpkins and the apples, and overall, I think they did pretty well, but I will be looking for some better markers in the future. that is my bullet journal for this October. I hope you guys enjoyed my little spread here. And just a reminder, as I said, I am an artist and I have a website that I have linked down below if you want to check out any more of my work and also my most recent project, which are called Spiritual Goddesses. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like me, then please subscribe. Thank you.